Okay, this is an ASUS power supply, 19.5 volts, 9.23 amps. It was basically used for gaming laptops. You can use it for any purpose requiring 19 to 20 volts. Since I already opened it because it was faulty, it was basically dead. This was its cable. Let me show you what was inside. This is what I found inside. It's built very heavily, double-sided PCB. This is the secondary side, this is the primary side, and I already replaced the faulty MOSFET because this MOSFET on the secondary side, for synchronous rectification, there are MOSFETs instead of diodes for synchronous rectification, because it's not simple rectification on the secondary side. It is using synchronous rectifiers controlled by maybe these two chips. Okay, after fixing the power supply, I thought maybe I can change its output voltage. So I'm partially successful in that, because the voltage I can change it from 19.5 volts to downside up to 12 volts. Maybe I can go further, but 12 volt is enough. If I can change the voltage maybe to 14 volts, I can use it for charging for 12 volt batteries or any other purpose. 12 volt power supplies can be used in many places. Okay, and it can also be changed to 24 volt power supply, which will be even more useful. But there was one problem. This main controller IC has some built-in feature of over voltage protection. When it goes above 22 volts, the output goes above 22 volts, it shuts down, and it's DAP026. Maybe you can read it, and it's not a common standard controller IC. It's a custom made or application specific IC designed specifically for this power supply. I cannot find its data sheet, but it is basically a PFC controller plus PWM controller combined. So in order to change the voltage, I need to modify this feedback mechanism. This whole thing is a feedback mechanism using LM393 IC. This is LM393, and these two optocouplers, one for the voltage and one for the current or overload. Maybe this is maybe for overload, current overload. I drew its schematic, and let me show you. Okay, this is the schematic of this feedback mechanism only, not the whole power supply. It's feedback mechanism LM393 and these optocouplers, how this feedback mechanism is sent back to the primary side. So the two optocouplers, one is here, the other one is here, and the output voltage is sent back to the primary side using this one, which is this one. We will be focusing on this one. In order to modify the voltage, forget this thing, will be discussed in another video. I will be focusing on this thing only because it is required for voltage modification. This thing is just a TL431, basically in simple words, variable Zener diode. Instead of placing a Zener diode at the downside of this optocoupler, we usually use a TL431 or a similar. This one here has name GB5, yes, it's similar to TL431. TL431 is more common. So this is reference voltage supplied through a voltage divider from output rails. This is the output rail. So in order to get the 24 volt output, you need to change either R1 or R2 or R1. You can do whatever you like, but when I try to change this to 24 volts, since this IC has an overvoltage protection, so I cannot go above 22 volts, but I can go downside up to 12 volts. Up to 12 volts I change it. Maybe you can go further, but it's not recommended. The transformer and everything else is designed around 19 volts, 19.5 volts. It will be very useful if I can, or if you can modify it to 24 volts, but for that you need to disable the overvoltage protection of this IC. The overvoltage protection is implemented through an auxiliary winding, which is actually a secondary winding, but its output is on this primary side using these diodes, and somehow it is implemented to this IC, which I have not done, or I have not figured out yet. Okay, so to change the output voltage to less than 22 volts, to whatever value, you just need to change these two resistors, or this one, but I'm focusing on these two resistors. If you change the values of these two resistors, these two are in parallel, just the equivalent resistors. If you change it, the reference voltage changes here, the Zener voltage changes here, and according to that Zener voltage, the feedback will be sent to the primary side, and the switching will increase or decrease of the IC, this IC, and the voltage will change. Okay, now let me show you. Since I already implemented it, I installed a variable resistor in place of these two resistors. I pulled out these two resistors, removed them, and replaced these two resistors with this one. I will show you in the picture of the original picture of this board, that where I installed or soldered this variable resistor. But you can see that where I installed it. Okay, but you don't need to worry that where you should be installing this resistor, because I will point out in the original picture in the link in the description. Okay, let me show you how it works. Now plugging in. Okay, now it is turned on. It has a short circuit protection, which I will be showing you. Now I'm checking it at the DMM. You need to be very careful for any shock, because the primary side is live 400 volt DC, so be very careful. Okay, now this, by the way, this LED was not there actually. The power supply was without any LED, so I installed it myself, so it's also a modification. This MOSFET was also replaced. Okay, now checking the output voltage. You can check it. Okay, now it's 19.5 volts. It's the original voltage. Now let me change the voltage. Okay, be very careful while changing it, because the primary side is live. Okay, now if I rotate it clockwise, the voltage goes up, and you can increase it to up to 22 volts. I checked it, and after 22 volts the power supply shuts down on voltage protection. Okay, now I am still changing the resistance. I won't go to 22 volts because it will shut down and I have to restart it again. From there I will go down, rotate it counterclockwise, it will go down, and you can change it to any value you like, but don't go very far on the downside because the transformer is designed around 19 volts. Okay, now speeding it up, 15 volts, 14 volts. This voltage is actually suitable for charging 12 volt batteries. Now you can set it to 14 volts for if you want to charge 12 volt batteries. Okay, now going further, okay, going down slowly, 14 volts, going down further. Okay, now if I go below 14 volts, its feedback mechanism becomes unstable. But before installing that LED, it was going to 12 volts fine. Now if I install this LED, now it's unstable below 14 volts. Its feedback mechanism, it can still be modified to 12 volts, but you need to further modify its feedback mechanism. Anyway, if you don't go below 14, it is stable. If you go above again, it becomes stable. Its feedback mechanism does not fluctuate it. Now if I increase it to again its rated voltage 19.5 volts, and here we go, 19.5 volts, so a little bit less. Yes, 19.5 volts. So let's test this power supply running some load. Okay, this is actually a motor, DC motor, geared motor. Okay, let's test this power supply. Okay, it works fine. The power supply is working fine. Okay, now you can short circuit it. Now to test its short circuit is working. Yes, it works fine. And in order to start the power supply again, you need to plug out, let it discharge its capacitor, and plug in again. Now it plugs in again, short circuit it again, and it is dead. It has an overvoltage protection, it has a short circuit overload protection. It is 19.5 volts, 9.23 amps power supply. You can modify it from anywhere between 22 volts to 14 volts. You can also go below 14 volts if you modify it further. Since I have only changed this resistor, so it's okay for me. But in order to go above 24 volts, you need to modify this IC and its overvoltage protection. You need to bypass or disable the overvoltage protection, which I will show you in the next video, but it's actually not recommended, because in any case, any accident, open loop, open feedback loop, or any other case, the bypassing or disabling the overvoltage protection is not recommended. It can put you in a lot of trouble. So that's it. Thanks for watching.